Good evening. Welcome to bookmarktutoring.com. Tonight we are going to be discussing Picasa, Google's graphic design management software that you can get for free. And it's built by Google. Okay, web albums, stuff like that. And it's great at helping you manage your graphic designs and getting some original edits. Here we are at the download Picasa page, and you can download it. They're up to version 3-9 now with Google Plus sharing and tagging. Yeah, so you can share and tag with it. And share pictures with your friends, that sort of stuff. Okay, but at any rate, that's what we're going to be discussing, what we use it. We use it at Bookmark Tutoring to put in our scans. It's our first run scan machine, and that. So let's take a look at it. There's Picasa in action. That's the user interface. If you want to run it, you're going to have to, once it's installed, you'll see it there. Then it will upload, or not upload, but you can work with it once that's done. It generally comes in when you first see it. It has this library that comes up. Okay, and here's one of our libraries at bookmarktutoring.com. These are our original scans. They came off of just a portable scanner. We carry it with us, and sometimes we just scan after we draw. There's a ton of stuff in here. But at any rate, that's what we do. Okay, so once we get to the library, okay, we can have a look at it and edit it and things. Let's take Mr. Duck. I guess he's a duck. I think he's one of Mrs. Goose's friends. Yeah, I don't think he's on the staff of Bookmark Tutoring. Oh, there we go. I double click it and I get into the picture. Oh, yeah, that's right. One of Mrs. Goose's friends. If you don't know, Miss Goose is our CEO here. Okay, so that's Picasa, and I can kind of browse through them, and these are some of the workers at Bookmark Tutoring. This is of our company party about a year ago. There's Mrs. Peacock and Miss Paradise. This is Mrs. Goose. Out on a walk on the terrace. Pardon me for laughing, Miss Goose. I just noticed the deep, thoughtful look in your eyes. It just kind of grabbed me. There she is in a happier moment, not so pensive. And this is another coder. It looks like it's Mr. Toucan. And here's some penguins. They code for us too. They work in Antarctica. They don't work directly in Santa Rosa. They are citizens of Antarctica. They're not American citizens, but they are programmed to internationalize Bookmark Tutoring. They're very good workers, and they work in the cold, which makes them kind of unusual. That's one of the fashion designer's friends. Someone she brought in for something. And here is one of our flying robins. And here's a little chicklet. That's one of their children at the party. That's Mrs. Rooster. And there's the fashion designer. Now, this person here, this is Miss Goose's fashion designer. She's in a good mood. She gets paid a lot of dollars to keep Miss Goose in the latest style. You might confuse this with Ms. Goose, but it's not. This is a fashion design outfit of a model goose that's being showed to Ms. Goose. Yeah, so, okay, that's another person. These company parties are something else. And there's some ducks. They're swimming out in the pool. There's another little one of the children. And there's a picture of Mr. Parrot, and I don't know what that guy is. He comes up in this costume. They are in marketing. Oh, this was a funny thing at the event. Um, these two coders are talking about smart meters. That's the fashion designer again. She's not too interested in that, but they were talking about making clothes talk, talking clothes, and that sort of thing. This guy, he has a degree from MIT, and that is Ms. Duck. Yeah, her and Mrs. Goose don't talk too much. That's a human angel. It's someone else the fashion designer brought in. And that's more props from the fashion designer. She's busy. And that, I don't know his name, but anyway, we want to know how to use that. So we can make a caption for this since we don't have the name. And we're going to go Sally. Sally tells Mr. Parrot it's time to leave the party. Yeah. And you are too tired to drive. Okay. So we can put a nice little thing here. And that's one feature of Picasa. We can keep on going through here. We might have to save it. I'm not sure about the captions. And they look like they stay. You can press Control S to do save. Here's another picture. And this is a duck, or this is a, looks to me like it's a seagull and a frog having, what do they look like they're talking about? Talking about, talking about Miss Goose. Okay, so yeah, then we got that. Okay, well, the thing is, we can also edit with Picasa. You have all these edit tools. And one thing I use a lot is, let's say, auto contrast. You can see that that instantly changes the contrast. We can undo the auto contrast, this button here, and it undoes it. We can also crop it. Cropping's always a good idea. It's always a good idea. And I can crop it like this. I get the mouse and I crop it. Sometimes I like to take it a little bit inside to make sure. Let me see. Reset. I'm going to crop it again. I want to keep it inside the border just a little bit, just to make sure I got it all. And now I'll apply the crop. Okay, so it looks fairly good. And we can also, the thing I also use a lot is, well, you can use the straighten. And that helps when you have a crooked picture. Or if you want to make a little side crook. You know, a little, it kind of puts a little perspective to it too. Notice the frog gets a little bigger. And it definitely, it looks like the picture gets a little bit bigger. Okay, so we'll put it back to normal. We'll cancel it. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you do is the brightness controls. This often works out well. Sometimes when you get shadowing, I didn't get a lot of shadowing in these things, but it does look a little weak. And I can make it darker now. And this, you can change the color temperature. Basically, it just gives it a different color, a background color. And there is the color picker if I want to get off a certain color. I guess I can do that and fix color. That's kind of hard to see unless you have some other things, but you can use that to get rid of colors. Highlights just lightens it. Okay, and fill light kind of just puts a hazy glow on it. Um, Let me put back there. We also have these other tools. Um, they change the color of the lines pretty much. Sharpen, things of that nature. Undo sharpen down here. Undo gradiated tint. Undo sepia. Okay, undo tuning. Okay, go back here. We got other things. Things like that. That's kind of an interesting effect. That's a grain effect. And we got a fade. So we can slowly bring in the well, that's not bad. Okay, but we're not going to apply it. That is the focal zoom. Now that's a good blurring effect. Okay. Edge hardness with that's a real hard edge. And it blurs it out. It's not much of a thing. So that kind of looks like kind of a dreamy type thing. I'm still trying to figure out what these guys are talking about. No, discard changes. Okay, so at any rate, I'm going to put the shadows back in. I think I'm just going to save it at that. But, and now I'm going to press, does it have save down here? Nope. That can be, oh, there it is, save. You see it says Control S, where you can save it. And it asks us again, and it gets saved. Notice down here when we did that save, this thing didn't change. In Google Picasa, you'll find that you might forget to save your changes, and it will not save them unless you explicitly go to the save, which is no longer here because we've already saved it. You can also press Control S, which I think pops up a box, even though no, it doesn't pop up anything. So that's what you got. And here we have the file size, the dimension. Notice these scans came in at big dimensions. And it's a portable scanner model. Camera date. The camera date model is out on, it's not correct on the scanner. Modified date, so that's the right date. File date, okay. Thumbnail, JPEG quality, and here's a unique ID. And what else does it give us down? Horizontal and vertical resolution, X and Y resolution. Seagull and Frog talking about Miss Goose. Well, I don't think they want Miss Goose to know that they were talking about her. Let's say Seagull and Frog talking about drones. Okay. Drone programming. Okay, that's good enough for them. Okay. A fashion designer in background. She doesn't really care. She's just doesn't care about drones actually. And she's just looking at them. I know how she thinks. She's just looking at them as if to put them on a Mrs. Goose's new coat or something. You know, whether she likes her new feathers. Would Miss Goose like to wear something that she doesn't want to offend Miss Goose by making her look like a seagull or a frog? But that's what she does. All right, so let's look at a few more of the company pictures. I'm going to hit the button there. This one. Okay. The angels, these were ornaments at